Rising inflation has made everyday living quite expensive. Even if you're trying to be more mindful about spending, financial commitments to other people are sure to come up. Whether it's a baby shower or a celebratory dinner, etiquette expert Julie Blake Como is here with some tips on how you can still participate without compromising your bank account. Welcome to the show, Julie.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so this is going to be a great conversation. We've got some scenarios to go through. So the first one is, say you've gone to dinner with a friend and they're ordering multiple, appetizers, the expensive entree, then they ask for the bottle of wine, and you know that you only got money for the soup of the day.
Yeah.
How do you bring up that uncomfortable conversation of how to split the bill?
Yeah, we all have those friends, don't we? And this happened even before, a long time ago. So it's about setting the expectations. So when you get there, you can talk to the waiter and let him or her know. You know when they come and they do that little check-in point when you come in?
Yeah.
So let's do it at that time. Set the expectations. And should that happen where you didn't have the time, think about it ahead of time. You may want to bring cash. So you just put your cash on the table. I had the niçoise salad and a glass of Chablis with tip $30 or so. That should cover it. And if that didn't work and the waiter comes, the waitress comes, and they're coming with the one bill and they put it down.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, well, you can take that bill and you can look at the server. Could we please have individual checks? So it's about expectations, and you are allowed to speak up. It's perfectly appropriate and fine.
Okay, well, that's great advice on how to handle that very awkward situation. All right, so let's get to the next one. Because of COVID, a lot of weddings got put off, right? So now it is wedding season, and it's very customary and traditional for people to have a lot of the pre-wedding events. You have Jack and Jill's in Vegas, and those things get very pricey. So how do you bring it up to your friends who's getting married and you want to participate, that you don't exactly have the funds to go to all of their pre-wedding stuff?
Yeah, weddings are now becoming festivals, more and more expensive. And brides and grooms, couples, just be aware of that. Not everybody can participate in everything. And this is one of those where you want to have like a heart-to-heart, a one-on-one conversation. And you do so as soon as possible. Don't wait. And we don't want to disappoint them, don't we?
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to disappoint them. You don't want to decline. So do so as soon as possible. Pick up the phone, meet that person, look into their eyes and say how happy you are for them, how excited you are, and that you have financial commitments. Unfortunately, you have to decline this one activity. And I don't think that there is a couple out there that wants any one of their guests to get into financial trouble.
Yes.
So as soon as possible, heart-to-heart, one-on-one.
Be honest, be upfront, and communicate exactly what's going on with you. That's great advice. All right, so the next scenario is another tricky one. Okay, say you're penny pinching, right? And a lot of people have been doing that because employment is different nowadays. And you have a family member who's in desperate need of money. How do you handle that situation when they ask you if they can borrow some?
Yeah, that's a tough one. What I recommend is that everybody right now at home take the time to put in place your own personal policy. And that means if you're financially in a couple with someone, decide what's the amount that we're willing to lose? What's the amount that we can do without? And then when that comes in, you can decide, like based on that amount, what you're prepared to lose or not. Because although you may sit down and you say, I'm going to lend you X amount of dollars, and, how do you think that what kind of payment plan could we put in place? And you sign and everything else, but it could happen that the other person cannot pay you back. We don't know what's going to happen about the future. So be prepared to lose. Have that conversation with your spouse that you're involved, and then give away if you can. Give away if you can, and then forget about it if you're going to give it.
Just know that if you're giving it, it's not going to come back, so only give what you can afford to.
Yeah.
So what do you do if you're the family member where you are doing quite well? Maybe you just made partner at the firm and you live in a nice house and everybody in your family knows that you have a lot of money and they're asking you for a loan. How do you handle that situation?
Yeah, the same way, because you have more money, maybe your budget, that you're willing to do without is higher, and you have those conversations, and it's really individual. You're going to have those conversations one-on-one. You're going to find out what's the money for, and sometimes if you can't do it, just go ahead and do it. You don't know what that's going to happen. And although we think we know our friends and our family members very, very well, we may not know everything. So if you can, give, but if not, And you know, you're going to look into the person's eyes and I'm sorry, but right now I can't. But you can also offer your time. You can do whatever your talents are, offer your time. That sometimes could even give them that extra
boost that they need. All right, well, such great tips. I just look people in the eyes and say, I ain't got it. But that's a great,
honesty.
great tips. So thank you so much for stopping by, Julie. All right,
You're
it's time for
welcome.
us.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.